Hi guys, it's your island girl and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. And today I'm reacting why so many American homes are flimsy. Flimsy is an understatement, guys. So we're going to get right into this one. I'm getting this one from Cheddar. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show them some love. So come on in. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you like what you see. To all my regular schmegulas, day one, city pie, city pools, come on in right back. Put a smile in your face and enjoy. Let's get into this video because I want to hear the explanation for this one because I'm positive European homes are way, way better. No question asked, because when you look at history, you always hear of their houses, and I did a video. Boo, baby. Here we go.
You can hear conversations through the walls.
Yep.
Footsteps up the stairs. Banging pots in the kitchen when you're across the house. That's just life in most American homes.
Yep.
Walls are thin and the opposite of soundproof. And something always needs to be fixed. And most homes aren't even that old. There should be no excuse that they're falling apart. But why are they like this, especially when other areas have sturdy, thick houses that last hundreds and hundreds of years?
Exactly.
The answer isn't just capitalism, so don't click off the video just yet.
Okay.
It's actually a lot more complex, and the solution isn't easy.
I want to hear this.
If you're looking for one quick thing to blame, you can look towards George Washington's snow.
In 1832, the civil engineer was tasked with building a Chicago warehouse as quickly as possible from the local softwood.
Okay.
So he got creative. Snow used 2x4s to assemble hollow walls, several stories high. The method let individual workers handle assembly, leaving only one person to nail it all into place. Snow completed the warehouse in record time. The method was called balloon framing,
Okay.
and it became the construction method of choice in Chicago. But balloon framing didn't take off until the 1940s, when America was experiencing a post-war boom period.
Oh.
More Americans had money than ever before, and they wanted the American dream, a house. They could suddenly afford to buy homes in sprawling new suburbs, and contractors knew they could make a killing if they could produce enough homes to satisfy the demand. Balloon framing and its successor, platform framing, allowed contractors to frame houses basically overnight. But there was something unique about balloon framing that made it only feasible in certain countries, like the U.S. and Canada, and not in Europe.
Balloon framing requires a massive quantity of long, mature trees.
And America had an abundance of super tall, mature trees. Plus, it was an easy and cheap construction material for the newly growing suburbs.
Okay.
Wood is sturdy, yet flexible enough to withstand low-intensity earthquakes and tornadoes.
Oh.
If you want to hear about all of wood's good qualities, check out our video on the subject here. In Europe, wood is still incredibly expensive because so few forests remain. And what they do have is heavily protected.
Oh.
So the average European home is built with brick, stone, or concrete, and they're many centuries old. These materials can be sturdier and safer than wood. A concrete masonry wall has a, shocker, higher fire insulation property rating compared to a wooden frame wall. One of these concrete walls has a fire rating of around 4 hours till it's destroyed, as compared to a wooden framed wall, which only has a rating of around an hour. Insurance carriers...
Hold up. I did not know that Canada also used balloon framing for building houses. Guys, these houses are paper thin. And I understand what they're saying. It was cheaper material and they could get over and making these houses quickly, and it's from tall, mature trees that they had a lot of. I get it. But I live in Jamaica and our houses, majority brick and mortar, concrete house we call them. And those houses stay for a lifetime. You understand me? Earthquake come, hurricane, whatever comes, it's still standing. They're not paper thin. And just like she said, you can in America, you can hear. I used to live in an apartment just before I got this house. And when I came here, that was my first experience of being in an apartment. Guys, I can hear everything through the wall. Everything you can think of, you hear through the wall. Yeah, every and anything you can think of. When somebody's next door, let your mind go there. And I was like, oh my word, this is crazy. Never. Living in Jamaica, I had you couldn't hear nobody next door. Like I said, concrete. I lived in an apartment. You couldn't hear nobody next door through the wall. It's too thick. Oh.
Also have long-term data suggesting that homes constructed of brick are less likely to be destroyed by natural hazards.
Exactly.
And if saving money is your game, the U.S. Department of Energy estimates that you could save $340 a month or over $4,000 a year on heating and cooling if you live in a brick house over a wood one.
Wow.
It's estimated that losses from wildfires have added up to $5.1 billion over the past 10 years, a number made even more bloated by all the wood-framed houses.
Now, to be clear, wood isn't necessarily a bad building material.
I mean, take a look at the Fairbanks house in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's been standing since 1637.
Oh.
But in general, wood is harder to maintain. In fact, without maintenance, many houses won't make it to 30 years.
And to many Americans, that's just the right amount of time.
The U.S. Census says that the average American moves houses 11 times in their lifetime.
Ow.
That figure across 16 European countries? About 4 times. Since Americans are constantly moving their homes, they don't need them to last as long. They expect a semi-new home wherever they go because with the increased owner turnover, regular maintenance isn't normally done. It's easier just to rip it down and start over fresh.
But why do Americans?
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So, it's not going to be maintained. It's easier to rip down and rebuild for somebody else to go through it, to do the same thing to start, and then you line your pocket from us who are buying these houses, these Americans who are buying these houses for little and nothing, and it won't sustain them. And for people who are living in their house for umpteen years, they have to do repairs so often, guys. It's crazy. Your roof, your roof don't even last 15 years. You have to put on a new roof. 10 to 15 years. Even before 10 years, there's stuff falling off. You have to be doing patches here and there. Oh, child, this one is, yeah.
Move around so much.
You can blame the job market. In America, it's much more common to hop around between companies. The opposite is true in the European Union. The World Bank reports that the median tenure of the average U.S. employee was 4 years, while the median tenure in the EU was 10 years. Part of that culture of constantly shifting jobs is moving to a new area to take that job, meaning you've got to move houses.
Yep.
So, short story, blame George Washington Snow. Long story, blame the shifting U.S. job market.
Interestingly, we aren't the only country in the world to have famously flimsy houses.
We share that title with Japan.
Oh.
And they're actually worse than us.
Houses in Japan depreciate like cars do in the US.
After 20 years, a Japanese house typically loses all of its value and is, on average, torn down just 30 years after being built. According to a paper by the Nomura Research Institute, it's a major obstacle to affluence for Japanese families. The collective waste is approximately an annual loss of 4% of Japan's total GDP.
Wow.
The total amount of new houses built in Japan every year is on par with the United States, despite having only a third of its population, which is shrinking every year. 87% of Japan's home sales are new homes, compared to only 11 to 34% in Western countries. Part of the reason for this is that the Japanese love new things. Their frequent and severe earthquakes make old houses, cheap wood frame houses from the same post-war boom we had, dangerous and without proper seismic reinforcement.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
considered futile to invest in their maintenance or try to improve them. That's especially reinforced, the Nomura Research Institute says, by concepts of impermanence in the Shinto religion. Take a look at Issei's Grand Shinto Shrine, a huge religious site that is rebuilt from scratch every 20 years.
Unfortunately, it's very expensive when you apply that same principle to houses.
Americans wanted cheap homes to fulfill their dreams of home ownership after World War II. But the tricks that contractors used to make that happen have made it easy for us to view homes as disposable and unworthy of repair. But times could be changing. A recent trend that hasn't unseated wooden framing yet is modular or prefabricated homes. Modular homes are constructed in sections away from the building site and then put together on the property. But they're actually framed with 8 to 10% more wood, so they're extra strong for transportation, and are designed to be sturdier than regular homes. Instead of nails and screws, walls are connected using joints and strong glues. It's a method that has become increasingly popular for making tiny homes, but hasn't managed to beat out balloon framing on the most important thing to contractors: price. Modular homes sell for less than regular homes, even though they can be slightly cheaper to make, so contractors avoid them in favor of more profit.
If Americans
Oh,
decided to stay put in one home and invest in it, that might change.
But the cheap efficiency of wooden framing and the necessity of moving to advance one's career are hard lures to resist, especially when everyone else is doing it.
So I suppose you can really just blame it on trying to keep up with the Joneses.
How many times have you moved in your life? Let us know in the
I did not see that coming one bit. Here I am sitting down thinking to myself that, okay, let's find out exactly what is going on. I did not see it coming as in for the fact that because people are moving, I did not know that the house are not being maintained as they should. I did not realize that they tear it down in order to build new one over a period of time because it's more it, it's better that way. My eyes were open like a light bulb just came in my head because I'm like, these houses are indeed flimsy. They are indeed, and I didn't know that's what was going on in Japan. This is crazy. They tear down their house every 20 years. That's madness. But then it makes sense because they get a lot of earthquakes, so they're so flimsy. But here she is saying these pre-made homes that you can bring in section that you drive and drop it on the lot where you need it to be is even sturdier than the ones that are being built on site. But guess what? Construction workers or persons who are building homes don't want to use that method because it's gonna get them less money. So they rather build it on site with whoa. And it's guys, the next thing is that you have to pay these insurance. Okay, you have flooding insurance, you have this, you have that, you have homeowners, you have to cover everything in your house, and if it's not covered and it's damage come, well, you count that as a loss. But yet still you're spending 30 years with a mortgage that is through the roof. But by the time you're done paying off for that mortgage, is based on what I just watched, it's time to hit that house down. Oh my God, this is madness. Wow, crazy. It's your island girl, and I'm running out of here. Oh wow, I'm still in shock with this one. Be good, be kind, be safe, love each other. Don't forget to give this one a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Yeah, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in another one. Bye.